Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hi everyone, I said I'd be back, didn't I? So, hello. A couple of videos ago I did do one with Natalie Portman v Meghan Markle, basically the Dolphin Reef, Disney's Dolphin Reef, versus Meghan Markle doing the voiceover for Disney's Elephant. Well, today the critics have had their view of it and given their opinion. To say it's less than complimentary is a bit of an understatement. 2 stars, 3 stars. It doesn't seem like it's going to go down that well. Have Disney made an epic mistake? Empire's Ian Freer, who awarded the film 3 stars, said, "For her part, Markle's delivery of the commentary is wholesome and over-eager to please." He added, citing that some of her vocal observations, such as, "It's time for a pool party when the elephants take a mud bath." He added that the Duchess just about stays on the right side of annoying. The Telegraph's Robbie Collin, who awarded it 3 stars, said the documentary is not quite Attenborough, admitting Meghan's honeyed alto is a fine match for the tone of the piece, which vacillates between regal and cutesy poo with occasional gusts of girl power uplift. Wow, that made me kind of want to vomit in my mouth even just reading that one. The Times' Ed Potham was decidedly more scathing, evident by his 2-star rating. He said that Meghan is swapping pomp and circumstance for schmaltz and cheesiness. The departing Duchess of Sussex narrates Disney's tale of a herd of elephants crossing the Kalahari Desert from the Okavango Delta to the Zambezi River, and boy does she lay it on thick. He did concede that she had an actor's way with a phrase and a likeable sense of mischief, but concluded the performance often feels over-egged. To anyone raised on Attenborough's urban authority, it all feels a little bit shallow. The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw, who awarded Elephant 3 stars, was a bit more complimentary about Meghan. He said, "At times he says she injects torrents of schmaltz, not helped by the outrageously unverifiable things she is given to say." He concluded that the documentary is technically impressive work with some lovely images and a bit of a sugary taste. Critics have always been a little bit mean, but they also will give compliments if compliments are due. Now, the timing of this doesn't help because Harry and Meghan's reputation is in freefall nosedive since we found out that they lied even further, had no intentions of living in Canada, didn't bring Archie over to see his family because they were basically sneaking into LA to chase around whatever career that they can forge for themselves. And given this climate, it's not going to be looking that good for them. So would the critics have been as harsh, say, if this had been done maybe in a year's time? It's pretty obvious that this whole job came about for when Harry pimped his wife, and I will use those words, pimped Meghan Markle to Bob Iger when they were at that Lion King Disney premiere. Now, this has gone down very bad in so many ways. It's gone down bad for Harry because he's used his position in the royal family to push his wife, to put a Disney executive on the spot and basically plead for work for his wife. It also looks bad on Meghan when you then see her in another video speaking to John Favreau, I believe his surname is, saying that the only reason we're there was to pitch. So Harry that night, as most of you know, which has irked a lot of people, he turned down to go to a memorial concert for 11 Marines that lost their lives so he could take his wife to a film premiere. Turns out not just a film premiere, it was a plug for Meghan's career. Now, bearing in mind they are both full-time working royals when this was filmed. This was done in July last year. Megxit had not been announced. This is obviously when they had already started plotting and planning that they were going to leave the royal family. So it was in poor taste that Harry actually didn't do his duty and went to attend the memorial concert and instead chose to go to a film premiere to pimp his wife. It was bad of Meghan to even just be that brazen, oh my gosh, using their position and title to try and obtain work. Now, obviously, Omid Scobie leapt to Meghan's defence, as he always will when he's not busy being, a royal reporter or a royal expert, whatever he's marketing himself as lately. But he leapt to her defence and tweeted that this was actually filmed a long time before that event took place. Apparently, Meghan managed to come by the parts due to someone that she'd met in Botswana in 2016. Now, Bob Iger at the time was pretty high up the food chain when it comes to, I think, believe he was CEO at Disney. And I find it rather odd. Bob's reaction and his wife's reaction was a little bit strange. What Harry said would be a bit strange, because surely Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, when Harry plugs and says, you know, she does voiceovers. Yeah, no, she's really interested. Bob's face is not one of, oh yeah, actually Meghan has, she's already filmed for one of our shows that's coming out next year, which is going to be huge. You know, we've got Natalie Portman doing the other one. He would have known about it, wouldn't he? He wouldn't just be like, oh really? Does she? I think he would have known if they'd had Meghan Markle on their books or done a donation to the elephant charity. So that's why I call Big Fat Porky Pie. Here's a picture of Omid Scobie before, here's a picture of Omid Scobie after. Bob Iger, I think in February, not long after this basically all got released to the media of Harry desperately plugging his wife to Disney, Bob stepped down. He is still there and I think he's like in a creative sort of role, but he still stepped down rather suddenly because it took people by surprise. Normally when someone's so prominent and that high up, if they're leaving, generally people will know about it a good 2 years, a year in advance. So it was all very sudden. I'm not saying it was linked, but it is funny, isn't it, how he stepped down not too long after basically the worldwide embarrassment of Harry pimping Meghan to him, which, as it turns out, paid off. Now, some more information that I have picked up is apparently that it was already recorded. Elephant had already been recorded by another actor. I don't know who that other actor is, but given the fact that they had Natalie Portman for Dolphin Reef, I could imagine it was someone that's got a well-known voice. So who did they kick out of the way to desperately bag a member of the royal family? As I said in my previous video, she wouldn't have got that role being Meghan Markle, Trevor Ingleson's wife. She wouldn't have got that role being Meghan Markle off of Suits, Rachel Zane. She got this role because of what Harry did that day and pushed for it. But what's happened is the actor that was doing that role kicked off. Got the boot. I mean, do we think that Meghan would have the brass cojones to do that to a fellow actor? Yeah, absolutely. She wouldn't give a crap, would she? I would be so interested in knowing who that other actor is, because it will probably eventually get leaked out, won't it? And I can imagine that she's burnt a few bridges within Hollywood with regards to that as well, because an actor has been kicked off of this prominent role starring pretty much, not starring opposite Natalie Portman, but, you know, obviously doing the next segment of this Disney show. Apparently after the news got announced that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, was doing this voiceover, Disney's Instagram got absolutely trashed. It had so many negative comments from people all around the world saying, well, I'm going to completely avoid watching that. I would have considered, because it's on Disney Plus, but people were saying, I would have considered purchasing this to watch these. I'll watch Natalie Portman, I'll watch Dolphin Reef, but there's no way I'm watching this. So have Disney shot themselves in their foot in their desperation to plug a member of the royal family? It does seem, with what the critics have said about it, that it's not going to go down that well. Unfortunately, at the time that they picked Meghan and Harry, there was still this huge narrative of how they were victims and they were being bullied by, you know, the UK media. Obviously, as it now turns out that they've, you know, gone to Hollywood to chase up their LA dreams, those stories and stuff are getting really, really hard to push, aren't they? Many a fan that I have got in contact with me that said, I was a fan of Meghan Markle, but I cannot believe this. I'm now beginning to see the light. Well, good. At least Meghan Markle has shone the light on something. She has been telling some whoppers. So who do you guys think could have been this person that had the acting role? It couldn't have been someone like as epic as Morgan Freeman, because I tell you what, I could listen to that guy's voice all the time narrating. Obviously, it wouldn't be someone as spectacular as Attenborough because he's got his own things. But it's going to be someone that's going to be on level. Another Hollywood A-lister star, someone that would have been famous enough to attract attention to it, but someone that's got a nice voice. Natalie Portman has a nice voice, whether you like her or not. Her voice is actually really nice. What Meghan Markle's voice for me would be like is that scene in Jaws with Quinn sitting in the back being all cool, that grabs his hand, rakes his nail down that chalkboard slowly. And yeah, it still makes my teeth go on edge even thinking about it. The sad thing to come out of this, it's going to be such a shame for the people that have put so much time, money and effort into Elephant, because I do think by their choice of choosing Meghan Markle to narrate it, it's definitely going to get the unfair negative attention which it will not deserve. I mean, it looks epic. I mean, Disney, they always do something amazing, but I just can see this sinking a lot lower than the Dolphin Reef, and probably a lot lower than what it deserves due to the worldwide dislike of Meghan. Disney did not chase Meghan, much like Meghan went after the Vogue. She approached Edward Enninful. She chased him to get that thing. Meghan has spent her life what they call as grifting. She chases people. She asks people. Disney probably couldn't believe their luck when they had Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stood there as a Duke and Duchess in Sussex, his and her Royal Highness, saying that she wanted to do the voiceover of a family of elephants because, you know, elephants, family means everything to them. That's not the exact wording, but it was something like that. And it's like, oh, you couldn't have picked a worse person to narrate this, Disney. I don't understand what on earth your thinking was. So the critics have panned it. The royal family are probably not too happy that Meghan used her title to do this. Again, it was all something that was all kept under the radar. Elephants Without Borders are going to be a winner because they're going to have a £3 million donation, which we hope will eventually get to them if it has not already gone to them directly from Disney. Fingers crossed. Harry's been totally trashed. The fact that he showed such disrespect to the royal family, to the Queen, to his uniform, to the Marines by actually choosing to pimp his wife to Disney instead of attending the memorial concert. So there's winners and losers in this whole scenario. Do you think that Disney's ratings will pan, or do you think that they will have a spike in ratings? Because obviously Meghan still does have a fan club that will be there to the very end. Do you think the critics are just being harsh for the sake of being harsh, or do you think Meghan has what it takes to carry this Disney narration off? And who is that actor? That's going to bug me for ages. So I will be back with you again tomorrow. I'm doing a video on Prince Harry and his fall from grace at such a rapid decline. The guy's literally just jumped out of an aeroplane without a chute, hasn't he? So that video will be coming to you tomorrow afternoon, and I will be back with you then. So please tell me what you think on this Disney video, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers for time.